You think you're mad, too unstable, kicking in chairs and knocking down tables in a restaurant in a West End town. Call the police, there's a madman around, running down underground to a dive bar in a West End town. In a West End town, a dead end world, the East End boys and West End girls. In a West End town, a dead end world, the East End boys and West End girls. West End girls. Too many shadows, whispering voices, faces on posters, too many choices. If, when, why, what, how much have you got? Have you got it, do you get it? If so, how often? Which do you choose, a hard or soft option? In a West End town, a dead end world, the East End boys and West End girls. In a West End town, a dead end world, the East End boys and West End girls. West End girls. West End girls. In a West End town, a dead end world, the East End boys and West End girls. Ooh, West End town, a dead end world, East End boys, West End girls. West End girls. You got a heart of glass or a heart of stone. Just you wait till I get you home. Got no future, we've got no past. Here today, built to last in every city and every nation, from Lake Geneva to the Finland station. And a West End town, a dead end world, the East End boys and West End girls. Oh, West End town, a dead end world, East End boys, West End girls. West End girls. West End girls. West End Lost in the high street, where the dogs run, roaming suburban boys. Mother's got a hairdo to be done. She says they're too old for toys. Stood by the bus stop with a felt pen in this suburban hell. And in the distance, a police car to break the suburban spell. Let's take a ride and run with the dogs tonight in suburbia. You can't hide, run with the dogs tonight in suburbia. Break a window by the town hall, listen a siren screams. There in the distance, like a rogue this is the hour of need. Where's a policeman when you need one to blame the color TV? Let's take a ride along with the dogs tonight in suburbia. You can hide along with the dogs tonight in suburbia, in suburbia, in suburbia. Run with the dogs tonight. Don't know why, I don't know how. Thought I loved you, but I'm not sure now. Seen you look at strangers too many times. The love you want is of a different kind. Remember when we felt the sun? A love like paradise, how hot it burned. Threat of distant thunder, the sky was red. And when you walked, you always turn every head. All day, all day. Watch them all fall down. All day, all day. Domino dancing. All day, all day. Watch them all fall down. All day, all day. Domino dancing. Thought that when we fought, I was to blame. Now I know you play a different game. I've watched you dance with danger, still wanting more. Add another number to the score. All day, all day. Watch them all fall down. All day, all day. Domino dancing. All day, all day. Watch them all fall down. All day, all day. Domino dancing. When you look around, you wonder, do you play to win? Or are you just a bad loser? Don't know why, I don't know how. Thought I loved you, but I'm not sure now. I hear the thunder crashing, the sky is dark, and now a storm is breaking within my heart. All day, all day. Watch them all fall down. All day, all day. Domino dancing. All day, all day. Watch them all fall down. All day, all day. Domino dancing. All day, all day. Watch them all fall down. All day, all day. Domino dancing. All day, all day. Watch them all fall down. All day, all day. Domino dancing. All day, all day. Watch them all fall down. All day, all day. Domino dancing. All day, all day. Watch them all fall down. All day, all day.
to compete or talk street. I can pick up the best
try, and I could. And left to my own devices, I probably would. Left to my own devices, I probably would. Oh, I would. I was faced with a choice at a difficult age. Would I write a book, or should I take to the stage? But in the back of my head I heard distant feet, Che Guevara and Debussy to a disco beat. It's not a crime when you look the way you do, the way I like.